And you are listening to the Ask the Experts radio show on Talk Radio 1190. I'm John Wolf, and I have with me one of our regular great guests, Roger Wakefield. How are you this morning, Roger?
I'm doing great, John. How are you, sir?
Good, very good. And Roger is the owner-operator of Texas Green Plumbing and makes a monthly trip here to try to help us out with all our plumbing questions and just plumbing field questions in general. But let's roll the tape way back to the beginning. How did you get into plumbing? What drove you to it?
A real good friend of mine, actually one of my best friends growing up, I was managing a hamburger place in Garland where I grew up, and he was working with me one night. We were in there talking, and I was 16 years old. I may have been 17 at the time. I had been enjoying the job and got promoted to manager. And he asked me one day, he said, "Are you going to do this forever?" I said, "You know what? I'm managing a restaurant, 16, 17 years old. I've got it made. I make decent money. Why not?" He says, "What are you going to do when you lose this job? What if they fire you? Who's going to hire you as a restaurant manager at your age?" And his father became the chief plumbing inspector in Dallas at one point. His three older brothers were all plumbers. And he talked about everything they did, and it was really interesting. It was exciting to me. They made good money at it. And talking to him, I thought, that is something that could be fun. The really interesting thing about it is he became a plumber too. They're all master plumbers now. All the brothers are. Father's passed away. But the one thing that he said that night, now remember, this is early 80s, the one thing he said that night that stuck with me above anything else, he said, "Robots will never be able to do our job." Remember, in the early 80s, robots were going to take over the world.
They still are. Go ahead. I was just going to say, with the all you hear now about AI, artificial intelligence, there's no job that I wouldn't think robots could do that. They could come down and solder that, whatever. But go ahead with what you were saying. I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
There are a lot of things that we've got robotics that do welding. We've got robotics that can do cutting. I've worked on some of the largest commercial jobs in Dallas over my career. So I have seen a lot of changes. But a robot is not going to be able to come in your house, analyze the problem, at least not right now, analyze the problem, determine what needs to be done, test different areas, and say, okay, here's the problem. Don't get me wrong, robots in the future may be able to come into it better and faster than we do now. But in the early 80s, that was a reality that was on the way. Robots were going to take over the world, and it made perfect sense that they would never be able to do that.
Right. The original Blade Runner was 1980. And amazingly, Harrison Ford was around long enough for the second one, because in that movie, we were going to have flying cars now. So we don't know how quickly things will take over. Let me pause here to say the phone number here, if you have a question about plumbing or the plumbing field in general, 214-787-1190, 214-787-1190. Roger Wakefield is our guest from Texas Green Plumbing. Their number is 972-442-4101, 972-442-4101, and the website, not hard to remember, texasgreenplumbing.com. Now, when do you know if you need a plumber, or you think, well, maybe I could save a couple of bucks, and my friend Earl has a friend who does a lot of handiwork and said he's done some good work for him, and I'll see if he can come and fix this leak inside the wall?
That's kind of up to you. It really depends on your trust. It depends on the quality that you expect. I've got handymen that do a lot of things. I don't expect them to do any plumbing. The reason being, a plumber has to go through so many hours of training as an apprentice before he can ever become either a tradesman or a journeyman or different things like that. So it's very easy to understand how a handyman could mess something up because they don't get that training. Now, you'll talk to handymen all over the place that say, "Oh, look, I've done plumbing forever. I know all about it." I've done a lot of things forever, but I've never been professionally trained and received an education in a field other than plumbing. And I say that, that's not true. I was also a licensed cosmetologist and a licensed massage therapist. But I went and got my license to do those. I didn't just go out one day and say, look, I can cut hair. I'm going to become a cosmetologist. I didn't go out and just throw up a sign and say, look, I'm a massage therapist. I actually took the test and had a license for it. Plumbing is one thing that plumbing and electrical work, HVAC work, you are supposed to have a license to do it. The Texas state law and plumbing license board rules state it very clearly. You are supposed to be licensed in this state to offer to do plumbing. I was actually looking, somebody recommended me for a job yesterday on Facebook, and I went in and looked and see who else was recommended. There was another plumber on there that had been recommended 4 times, which is great. There's enough plumbing in Dallas to keep every one of us busy forever. I went, the way I work, the way my mind thinks, I went to the Texas State Board of Plumbing Examiners, checked his license. He does not have insurance. He does have an RMP. He does not have a company that is registered under his license. So, truth be told, if he comes and guys, he's a legit plumber. He's a master plumber. He comes out and works on your house and damages something, there's no insurance to cover you as a homeowner. Homeowners, the way I see it, should do their due diligence. Get online, go to the Texas State Board of Plumbing Examiners, go down to the license search, look up the plumbing company, or when you call a plumber, ask them, who's your master plumber? Go online and check. Is he registered? Does he have insurance? Is he a responsible master plumber, which is a certification you have to have in Texas? There's a lot of things to cover, and a handyman just gets out and says, look, I can do that. Mm-hmm. So there's a big difference.
Even with, as you say, a licensed plumber, and the gentleman's a master plumber, and maybe he's one of the best. But without the insurance, in fact, the most major job we had at my house, done at my house, which cost several $1,000s, I thought, I'm going to stay on top of this. I asked about insurance. He said, oh, yes, we have insurance. And I said, can you send me a copy of it? He said, I'll take a picture, send you a copy of it so you know you can call, you'll know it's up to date. 3 years later, I still haven't gotten that copy. Fortunately, there hasn't been a problem, but it just leaves you wondering, was it legit? Because anybody can sign up and make a first payment for insurance, whether it's a car or a house or a business. That doesn't mean you still have it years later, or that you didn't drop it after the first month, for that matter.
The good thing is, with the form that you have to fill out, Texas State Board of Plumbing Examiners, I think, is fantastic. Lisa Hill does a great job down there. I communicate with them often. When I hear of plumbing companies here in town doing improper work, hiring wrong people, I communicate with them. I got a phone call a couple of weeks ago, a guy asking us to change out a water heater. And I gave him a price, and he says, that's crazy. He said the last one was installed for half that. He even told me the guy's name who did it. So I look up that guy's name. He told me the name of the plumbing company. I looked it up. Well, I go back and check the owner. The owner is an apprentice, or was. He doesn't even have a current apprentice license now. So anybody can advertise to do plumbing. Do your homework, check. Every plumber in all the ads are supposed to have their master license number. I've got mine on my Jeep. It's on all my vehicles. Every plumbing company is supposed to have an M number on the front of their vehicles, letters at least 2 inches tall. It's there for your good. That way you can go online and check, is this legit? It's worth checking out.
So a plumbing business, anyone you call, should have a master plumber as part of the enterprise. Is that what you're saying?
Part of the Texas State Board of Plumbing Examiners and the plumbing license law, absolutely, it is required.
Okay, because I'll bet that most people, if they have the kind of emergency where they don't have the time, it's on a Saturday morning, water's coming out, you can't call the state, and you pretty much have to hope that you're getting someone legit, and maybe someone recommended that person. And actually what I found is some of the names of plumbing companies are so similar. Might be, let's say, Flower Mound Plumbing, Flower Mound and I'm just making these up. Flower Mound Plumbing specialists, and you don't know if you've called the person that your friend said, "Oh yeah, I called Flower Mound Plumbing," and could be a similarly named company. But you know what? You've got water running, and you just take your chance. And what does it mean as far as getting to be a master plumber? What kind of hours?
Well, you've got to have. Back when I did it, you had to have I think we had to have 6,000 hours at the time. Now it's 8,000 to become a journeyman. You had to have your journeyman license for so long before you could become a master plumber. And it's tests that you take. So, most companies do things right. But there are companies, there are individuals that get out there, they advertise, they don't do it right. They don't do everything they're supposed to do. Maybe they don't have insurance. Maybe they don't pull permits. And it makes it harder on those of us that do, because we have to cover all that in our pricing.
Right. Plus, I don't know about you, I'm not perfect doing my job, and people might be totally legit, have all their insurance and everything, and just have a bad day, so to say, and that could be a really bad day for a homeowner. We're going to take a quick break here. We're speaking with Roger Wakefield, Texas Green Plumbing. His website is texasgreenplumbing.com. His phone number, 972-442-4101 for Texas Green Plumbing. And the number here for the Ask the Experts radio show, 214-787-1190, 214-787-1190. And you are listening to the Ask the Experts radio show on Talk Radio 1190.
Texas Green Plumbing has been selected by the Ask the Experts radio show as the expert in plumbing repair. Texas Green Plumbing provides professional plumbing services throughout North Dallas and Collin counties. Texas Green Plumbing are Texas proud, and they love seeing the people of North Central Texas. They repair everything from minor plumbing repairs to slab leak detection with the latest top-of-the-line equipment. Their staff of plumbing professionals are dedicated to making sure your family has the cleanest water, the best water-conserving products, and the peace of mind of not worrying about the plumbing problems at your home. Let them show you why people call them saying, "I love my plumber." Texas Green Plumbing Company is a full-service plumbing company with an emphasis on reducing water usage, which results in a cleaner, more sustainable environment, as well as lower utility bills for our customers. Green plumbing is one of the fastest-growing topics in the plumbing industry, and we are your green plumbing specialists. Texas Green Plumbing, our plumbing professionals, have been working in and around North Texas since 1980. Texas Green Plumbing can help you save money and water resources. Call them today for a water audit on your home, 972-442-4101.